All right, ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Coming in. 3, 2, 1. Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are from the upcoming TKM production of The Odd Couple. Tom Milligan, who is the M in TKM.
That's right.
Nice to see you, Tom. And Scott Hughes. And the show is The Odd Couple.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. So, really, that's about all we need to say.
That's
New
it. We're
experimental production. People may not be familiar with it.
Yeah. Tom and Scott and The Odd Couple. I really can't sell it any better than that.
We're having fun.
So this is, we were talking before we started to open the mics, that between you've done this 8 productions of 8 different productions of this show. Yeah. One of them Tom and I did together.
Yes,
many years ago.
Yeah.
Which was just a blast. Yeah. So what was the process? Before we start, what was the process? I'm guessing that both of you have played multiple roles. Have you each played, because you're Felix and Oscar, have you each played the other one?
No.
You've never played.
Scott has.
Yes. Scott, you're Felix.
Yes.
And you played Oscar.
I played Oscar back when I was 24 years old. Way
back.
Yeah.
But Tom, you've never played the Felix part.
I've never played Felix. I played Oscar. This will be the second time playing Oscar. When I was in Des Moines at the Dinner Theater, I played Poker Player twice, I think it was, and I've also directed the show. The only common link for me with all 5 shows is that I designed the set for all 5 shows. So I've been playing different things here and there, but so it's been fun to see it from a different angle.
Arguably Neil Simon's most famous play. Just had some members of the cast from Barefoot in the Park.
Oh, sure.
A couple of weeks ago,
Right,
because
yes.
we just finished that show, and of course that was kind of an early-ish play of his. But this is your quintessential Neil Simon show.
You know, it's interesting, and we've talked about in the process of getting pre-production, how do we approach this and where do we go with this? It was talked about, well, should we update it? Should we make it now or whatever it is? But there's so many references in this, and I'm sure there are in Barefoot in the Park and all of his early stuff, that you can't escape this time period, which unfortunately now is a period piece for us. But it's all the references and all the how much they pay for something, and that would be 14 times what it is, and products that people probably don't know the name of, that are now iconic.
Well, and as and as funny and as fun as the script and the situation is, the idea of a couple of men sharing an apartment again. Yeah. My son my son is 30 and has 2 roommates.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a newsflash.
No, that's not.
Of course, it's an 8-room apartment that was apparently $240 a month. So
Yeah.
Just the reality.
So it's science fiction.
It is a little bit, but it's fun.
I mean, the basic thing, it's a clash of opposites. That's where you get your tension from. It's where the conflict comes from. It's where the story comes from. It's just really basic. But then you write in some jokes, and you have some well-built characters. Both Felix and Oscar and the Poker Players and Pigeon Sisters are all great characters. So it's a great story.
And, of course, today it is... I think it's known to today's audiences, but some years ago when there was a TV show, there was all this stuff. Everybody knew The Odd Couple, Felix and Oscar. Everybody knew that. But now it's almost gone completely the other way, where a lot of the audience that you're going to be performing for, doesn't have that background.
Right. I don't think it's here in this area. I don't think it's on any stations. I know it's not on MeTV, which was the older classic channel. I know it's not on there. So I don't know of any station that runs the reruns like they, with all of the options that you have with TV stations anymore. That one's not on there. So it does kind of fade from people's memory a little bit.
So really, it's actually very fresh for today's audiences.
And we try and make it that way.
Yeah. So Tom, you've played Oscar a couple of times.
Yeah.
And what has, if anything, has changed?
Well, I think it's been a few years since I played it. We're obviously a little older than what the normal casting would be, but so are our Poker Players, and so are our Pigeon Sisters. So I don't think that really makes any difference. I would think that what's happened with me now is that I have, hard to believe, I have kind of mellowed with age a little bit.
What?
And I know, and that's kind of why I'm trying to play Oscar this time is he's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more relaxed, still as sarcastic as ever, but just kind of takes things as they happen until this happens. And then perfectly good friends that were friends for a long time, and all of a sudden, the right situation and the right combination of things happening, just that's it, we're done.
Yeah. Scott, same question. What's changed as you've taken a look at this script now after having other productions under your belt and being away from it for a while?
Well, again, the first time for Felix for me. And it was kind of funny back the first time I did the show and played Oscar, the actor who was cast as Felix, basically they looked at it as we were cast opposite type back then. It's like, well, you're more of a Felix type. You'll be Oscar. It'd be funnier. And he was very much a Oscar type in playing Felix. So his time I'm not nearly as high strung as Felix is personally. So, getting to that, you got to act. But it's fun to play that side. And it's interesting how the lines come to you, even though they weren't my lines before, because I heard them before.
They sound familiar.
I ran lights for this show when I was in high school. I think I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school. And I remember when, 40 years later, when I sat down to be in the show, it was still like, it was just like putting on a suit coat. Right. Hey, I know these lines. Yeah. I know these people.
Yeah. Well, the line is so well written. Those lines are crafted. It just everything fits together.
Yeah, and you were a part of this. The part of the fun of especially in the beginning of the show, is the camaraderie between the poker players, and the challenge as an actor with that group is not only to act like you're playing poker and eating and drinking all at the same time, but remembering your lines and all that stuff. And that's where I think that's where the fun part of the show kicks off, is because it is a very unique group of people. And I think after coming out of the pandemic, I think people are more isolated now. This is a really good example of how people really every Friday night got together and did something. It's just these guys, playing poker, and we don't really know much about them, who they are and anything like that. But it's a camaraderie of that group that we see that's the fun part of that.
Because it's not just the relationship between Felix and Oscar,
no.
But it's them and their friends. It's the Pigeon sisters. Right. It is all about how all these people all come together.
Yeah.
You talk about learning about the poker players. We were just discussing this the other night. We don't know what jobs two of the poker players do.
Right.
One's an accountant, one's a policeman. The other two, we have no idea.
There.
So they have their own backstories they can come up with.
So we've talked around this, but tell me who else is in the cast.
Well, let's see if I can remember. We have Michael Robbie, who's been in several shows with us before. We have Jonesy McElroy, who's been in several shows, does our lights for us. We have John Day, who is new with us this year. We have Jeffrey Rouse, who was just in Pump Boys and Dinettes with us. And then, of course, the hilarious Pigeon sisters are played by Deb Kennedy and Lisa Margolin. So we have a pretty good rock star cast that we've put together for this one.
Just one weekend.
Just one weekend. We are still to that point where we'll do a Christmas show. We'll do 2 weekends of the Christmas show, but we're still finding our way out there in the theater world, and we don't want to overextend ourselves. And we most of our expenses for our shows go out in salaries, and so we just want to make sure that. But we are starting to see a real growth within the company. We've got a lot of groups coming in for this particular show, and we're unusual. We're selling tickets all the way through the end of the year. People are looking ahead, so. Hopefully next year we have one of the big surprises is that in our March slot we've scheduled Always Patsy Cline for 2 weekends.
Oh, congrats!
So yeah,
nice
so
to get
we've
that.
got the rights for that. So for us we're still growing and still stretching, and it's great to have people like Scott and the people that come to work for us. It's a drive out to Amana. We understand that, but it's a slow build, and we feel good about where we are right now.
Yeah, for those who don't know, TKM Productions, your home is the Amana Performing Arts Center, just outside of Maine, Amana.
Yep.
So just one weekend is it, and what are the, I know you close on the 28th.
26th, 27th, and 28th, with the 28th being a 3 o'clock matinee.
Okay. All
Everything
right.
else is at 7:30.
And people can get tickets on the TKM website, which is?
TKM Theatrical Productions. I looked just the other day. If you just put in capital T, capital A, K, capital M, we're the first thing that pops up normally. So,
all right. Now, we're not going to worry too much about spoilers because, spoilers for a 70-year-old show.
Really?
But, okay, favorite line. What's your favorite line from?
Oh, I know Oscar. I know my favorite line of Oscars.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. It could be from any.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one of your lines.
Well, I don't want to steal yours.
Mine's about little notes.
Oh, yes. That's the one. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well,
one.
Independently, they have arrived at this
same
line.
Yes. So that must be common with all the Oscar people playing
It's hilarious.
that particular one. Yeah, I have a lot of really good. We both have a lot of really good lines.
Well, the
Mine-
gravy one is
and
gravy one is very
The
good.
gravy one's pretty good.
You have to make gravy.
Yeah, I think, we talk about a well-crafted script, and I always tell students and stuff like that, always go back to the script, because that's where it is. And this is an excellent example of scripts that he wrote in the early 60s that are still very relevant today, very humorous today, and that's, and very... I don't know. The reason we do the shows we do is because we want people to come to Amana to see our shows, forget about what's going on outside the doors, come in, have a good time, relax, and enjoy yourself. And that's what he does, and that's what these shows that we're picking do.
One of the all-time great comedies, The Odd Couple, TKM Productions, September 26th through the 28th.
Yep.
And again, mention the website where people can go for tickets one more time, Tom.
TKM Theatrical Productions. Click on that, go to events, and we'll be right there.
All right. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.